is my mic working properly?
There we go. That's better. It was a little quiet.
Oh, probably because I was singing. It's that artificial intelligence. You know what I mean? It picks up when there's shit coming through it.
I was like, turn the volume up a little bit.
Yes, yes. No, been a while. We've both been rocking and rolling, but yeah, just dang busy. And we've got hate mail. We've got
Yep.
requests for more episodes. How when are you guys gonna come and you know uh, make another impact on our life with all the sports facts that you provide us weekly.
We heard the hate mail. That's why we're here this morning. It's
Right.
out of obligation.
Yeah, just merely obligation. Trust me, we Mitch and I both would rather be doing something else. So, but just kidding.
Just kidding. We love this. It's just been our lives have been nuts, both of us. So we had to take a little bit of a break between the two.
Absolutely. Thank you for the request. No, but it's been a long time, Mitch. We have so much to catch up on in such a it's going to be a great show. I'm excited for it's kind of like, it's like a balloon waiting to pop here, brother.
Oh
So
yeah.
what how have you been? What has been going on? You have been busy. I've seen your Facebook posts. You've been a cat diehard here as they are making their national championship run, but there's some other stuff going on as well.
Oh yeah. Well, let's start with the Bobcats because they have been on one hell of a run this year. As of right now, they're 14-0.
Woo, mama.
It's been a great year, and yeah, I went to their game last weekend in Bozeman, and I will say this again and again: the atmosphere in Bozeman is second to none. I know you've been to a few games as well
Yeah,
and have witnessed it. If you have not gone to a game in Bozeman, Montana, you need to go to a game in Bozeman. It is just so amazing.
they got her figured out. I'd say it's a
Yeah.
good place for recruits. If I was looking to play, it'd be a hot spot.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I saw a post on this a couple weeks ago. Obviously, I'm on a lot of Bobcat pages, but they were saying like if you're being recruited by a lower tier D1 school or you're being recruited by Montana State as a freshman, go to Montana State
There you go. The Montana
because
State
it's
has
just
the edge.
so it's like you're at an Alabama, in Ohio State, that type of echelon of care for your players with the athletic center, the crowds, all of that, of course, scaled down. Um, but you get that kind of care at Montana State. Um,
And we have horses.
and we have horses. Who doesn't love the freaking horses?
I mean, they're sick. I mean,
It's the sickest
rider
walkout.
and horses. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's the sickest walkout probably in all of sports, but it's definitely up there.
So what? So they're on a great run, 14-0. I mean, I mean, this is obviously the climax of this class as well with Tommy Malat's last year. I mean, is this destined to happen? I mean, are they going to win the chipper? I mean, is this kind of how this is looking out here, or what are they up against on the other side of the bracket?
So here's my thought. I definitely think they have an easier road to the chipper. Um, because they'll play Idaho this week, which is great. That's a division foe from the Big Sky. Beat them in October. Um, they're more healthy than they were in October when we were playing them. I think they had like their third string quarterback in, but so it will be a better game. But I still think the Bobcats will, of course, come out on top. But I think our side of the bracket is fairly. It's not easy because the other game on our side of the bracket is South Dakota
Oh,
and UC Davis, who are both very good as well.
so they got to get through UC, they got to get through SDSU just to go to the national championship.
No, they don't have to get through South
Oh,
Dakota
oh,
State. They have to get through University of South Dakota, which is the
that's right.
lesser of the two.
The Coyotes.
The Coyotes, yep.
I used to
Coyotes. I don't know how you say that, but
Yeah, it's fine. I used to call them the Arizona Coyotes, Phoenix Coyotes, and that lives in Phoenix would call them the Coyotes.
yeah.
So,
So no, so they have to either go through UC Davis or University of South Dakota. next week when they beat Idaho Friday on ESPN. Wanted to get the ESPN shout out there.
Everybody that's watching.
But yeah, so I think UC Davis or South Dakota. Again, the Bobcats beat UC Davis. The score doesn't say pretty handily, but pretty handily in the regular season. And South Dakota, I think, is a great team, but I think the Bobcats just have a better offense and defense and would be able to win that game. So I think they might lose in the chipper to South Dakota State or North Dakota State.
There you go.
That's the floor.
That's the floor. That's the floor. I like that. That's the floor. So tell me about this this University of South Dakota team. I was at my Shelby's obviously from South Dakota, and we had this discussion.
I'm sorry.
At our family table. Yeah, no, it's her cross to bear, obviously. But we had this discussion at the dinner table, and I was kind of in shock that there was another school in South Dakota besides SDSU even. So, and tell me about this team, though. I mean, have you seen these guys eye test wise? I mean, what do they got?
So I haven't watched them this year. I have to admit. But it it is definitely in that conference because they play in the Missouri Valley with North Dakota State and South Dakota State.
Okay.
Those three beat up on each other. I think South Dakota beat North Dakota State the last week of the year to give the Bobcats the number 1 seed. So they're pretty good too. I'm not going to, just blow by them at all. I haven't watched them to know what their strengths or weaknesses are, but obviously they're the number 4 team, so they're pretty good. But I still think the Bobcats, with Tommy Malotte's evolution of his passing game, they still run the hell out of the ball and their suffocating defense. I think the seat or the floor is the championship game.
Let's go. Well, it'll be anxious to watch. Obviously, now North Dakota State. Obviously, the Bison they're still involved heavily, right? I mean,
they're still involved heavily. I will say, the last couple of years they have not been the same. They seem to be, the last 10 years or so they've been blowing teams out. Okay. They've had a lot more close calls this year. So I don't know if that's just their personnel or what, or that they go through coaches every couple of years because their coaches move up. But yeah, I don't know.
So we're looking at a Bozeman Frisco, right? They'll get home field advantage for the next 2 weeks in the playoffs.
Yep, they have home field advantage all the way through, which is another plus, especially if we have to play North Dakota State, or I'm sorry, if we have to play, I think South Dakota has a dome as well. I can't quote that 100%, but I think they do. So if South Dakota has to come to Bozeman, and they come to Bozeman on the 21st of December, when hopefully it's cold. I don't want snow, but hopefully it's cold. I don't know how that's going to go for them.
Now, are you going to be going to this game this weekend?
I'm not going to be going to the game on Friday.
Okay. It's on Friday.
Yeah, it's on Friday. Friday at, I believe, 7 p.m.
Woo, mama. All right, cool.
Yep. But if the Bobcats do make it out of this game, which I believe they will, I more than likely will probably go to the game next week against I don't know who it would be. Probably UC Davis or South Dakota, but one of the two.
Okay. Well, it'll be anxious to watch for sure. Yeah, looking forward to seeing that. So.
Hey, Tony, turn your mic up again.
Oh, is it running a little low?
Yeah.
Well, shit. What about now?
That's better for me. Ryan, is it better for you? We have someone typing in.
Prestige worldwide, wide.
Also, Ryan, I agree. Go Bobcats.
Go Cats, go. Go Cats, go. We got a little live action show. I wore my, you Yankees attire to celebrate the live show.
Yeah, you got a little Clark Kent action going on with the glasses today.
Yeah. It helps the profile, and makes me feel like my IQ's 6 points higher, and I need all the help I can get. I also drink smart water.
Oh, there we go.
Need
Yep.
to.
There you go. Great.
Yeah.
Love it. But yeah, the Bobcats have had a great year, but there's also been other sports going on. So let's
Big
talk
time.
a little bit about those.
Yeah, what do you want to get into here? We got obviously, we can address this early on. The big Juan Soto deal. Highest paid contract in sports history, well earned by obviously Juan Soto. But the Mets are making a move here, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Yankee fans are upset. I'm not, because hopefully we freed up some money to go, replace Clay Holmes or actually get some pitching. So, we got enough offensive nuke power. So, all good.
Yeah. I was, I guess, a little bit shocked to see he went to the Mets. I don't know why.
Okay. What about that, made you shocked?
I know that the Mets have made some splashes with like Lindor and stuff like that, but I didn't think that they were a team that would go out and basically open their pocketbook and say, how much do you want?
Yeah. Yeah. That was pretty intricate to the deal, wasn't it? You don't hear that. You don't hear that publicly, at least, very much, but
that's pretty much what they did, or at least they had to. I mean, to get that big of a contract, and the other thing that surprised me too, and I think kind of will screw them in the long run, in Ohtani's deal and in a couple of the other Dodger deals, they have deferred payments.
Yeah.
And so they're able to spend money while still having Ohtani on the team, which is absolutely insane. Genius on their part. But the Mets didn't do that.
Huh. Yeah, they just laid down. They just dropped their drawers.
And so I don't know how they're going to do it with having Lindor, having Juan Soto now, and I'm going to assume they want to bring back Pete Alonso. I just don't know how they're going to pay everyone.
So I want to ask, outside of Soto, because I tried to do a little research on this, but I wasn't able to be too successful, but I was hoping you would know who are some of the big free agents, this year, like as far as not necessarily this year, but is there any deals that are on the verge outside of Soto that are potential threats to the baseball world and transition wise?
Well, one that actually went to your Yankees that I'm upset about, Max Fried.
Yeah, Max Fried, saw that.
Went to your Yankees for 8 years. Being a Mariners and Braves fan, because I've always loved the Braves because my dad grew up a Braves fan, that one upset me. I feel like the Braves kind of aren't trying to get their free agents back anymore. They let Freeman walk. They let Dansby walk. Now they're letting Fried walk. Kind of feels like they're just letting people go.
Very much so. Yeah, very much so. Yeah, pleased to see that left-handed, little change up. Hopefully Nestor's in the bullpen this year. We can put Nestor.
Ooh, that's a hot take. The other big names, there's like Alex Bregman is a free agent, but he's a little bit older. Who's the other pitcher? There's one more pitcher. Oh, there's a Japanese pitcher, Roki Sasaki.
Yeah.
There's a Korean utility man from the Padres, Ha-Seong Kim, who's pretty good. I feel like there's a couple more pitchers that I'm not remembering.
Yeah, I think so. What's the deal with Kyle Tucker? Is he totally re-signed, or is he just had a 1 year?
So they're looking to trade him.
That's what I thought. So I need a Kyle Tucker on the Yankees. Would be life changing.
No.
Or the
it
Phillies.
Would be life changing.
Like to see that on the Phillies or the Yankees.
See, now here's my thing. I'm a huge Mariners fan.
I know. Well, I think
I would love to see him on the Mariners. It will not happen because our ownership hates spending money, but
hate winning. They just don't.
Yeah,
like
honestly.
Yeah,
honestly. But I would love to see it. Another name that's been kind of shopped around a little bit, and I don't know if this is legitimate because I also saw their owner come out and say it's not happening. Your name's just in the rumor mill. Alec Bohm.
Oh, Bomer. Love Bomer.
Yep. Another name that's on the trade market is Nolan Arenado,
Okay.
because he's getting a little older. So
Still hits nukes.
still hits nukes. His defense is still pretty good. It's just not where it was,
Yeah.
obviously, but
Lost a step.
you can't keep it at defensive god forever. So the Cardinals are looking to offset that. I think Goldschmidt's a free agent, so
Goldie.
Goldie's older though, so I don't know if he's going to have much of a market, but he could just because he's a name.
Absolutely.
Christian Walker from Arizona is kind of a stud who is again a little bit older. I think he's like 32, but he's a proven hitter. Hits like 30 home runs a year, and he did that in Arizona. So, you put him in a ballpark that's a little bit more hitters friendly, he's gonna go absolutely bananas.
Mhm.
I think those are probably the big ones. I think Anthony Santander is a big free agent too. Cody Bellinger's on the trade market.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of big names that could potentially be on the move.
Yes. Well, we'll wait and see as that season is around the corner. Believe it or not, actually.
It is. It's crazy.
I wanted to touch a little bit on this. We'll talk a little bit about the Heisman race here to a certain extent, but I want to talk, since we're not to totally shut off baseball, but
it's the off season. There's not much.
Yeah, it's the off season. So we have the college football playoff coming. I've seen a couple different takes on this. I have my own personally, but loving the fact that there's new teams to a certain extent. That I think that's great for the game. What's your take on the buys? The teams that got buys this year.
So my first take, and I absolutely love this, 2 of the old Pac-12 schools got buys this year. I'm just saying the Pac-12 was not that bad. It should not have gone away. Sorry, that's my soapbox. But the buys, I think, made sense. I mean, you had, obviously, Oregon has been dominating everybody this year. They did play a close game with Ohio State, but that's Ohio State. Like, that's going to be a close game. They've been really good this year. Boise State has Ashton Genty, who is an otherworldly player. They maybe shouldn't have gotten a bye. I'll give the people that they shouldn't have gotten a bye, but
close to home, kind of cool to see.
It's cool. Arizona State, they won the Big 12. They won 11-1. I really don't see any issue with it. People see an issue with it because, they're not the best team, blah, blah, blah. Well, they still won 11-1. They still won the Big 12. Like, they're good.
Oh, and then the running back is a stud.
Yeah, and he's a former Big Sky player.
Is he really? What?
Cam Scatterbo. Played for Sac State.
Sac State. Okay.
Yep. And then I cannot remember the first or the last team for anything.
Well, you got, I believe. Let's see. Didn't Georgia get?
Georgia won the SEC.
Yeah, Georgia won the SEC. I mean, is the changes in the modification to the playoff format? I mean, is it enough to separate the dominance of that conference?
I think so. I mean, just look at it. They're not the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
In the old system, they probably would have been the number 1.
So how does Boise State rank number 9 to finish the season get in as the 4 seed into a bye?
They got the 3.
Did they get the 3? How does that work?
I can't explain it, honestly. I think it's, if you want my honest opinion, I think it's Ashton Genty.
Yeah. Dude's a savage.
I think
like
that's
Barry Sanders kind of stuff. I mean, we're talking Barry Sanders here.
I mean, if you look at the teams, so the team that they thought maybe should have gotten it over them was Clemson, which I can maybe agree with. The only thing that I will say is in that ACC championship game, SMU was the higher seed going in, and SMU was the team that was supposed to go to the playoffs. Clemson just won because of experience, honestly. So I think that's kind of what gave Boise the bye. I think had SMU won, SMU would have gotten the bye.
Love that. Yeah.
and it would have been Georgia as the 3, and then SMU as the 4, and then Boise State is the 5. I think, but I think that SMU losing the ACC, giving it to Clemson, even though Clemson is a very good program, very good school, and Ashton Genty, I think that's why Boise State got a bye.
Yeah, fair. All in all, brief synopsis as to, because you really do follow this more than I do. As soon as hockey season starts, I'm pretty much consumed with that. Even on Saturdays, even on Sundays this year. We'll talk about that here in a sec in the NFL. I know. Who's gonna? I mean, eye test wise, who is the dominant team overall this year? I mean, or will it be a competitive playoff?
So I think it could be a competitive playoff. I do think, and I know I'm saying this as an Oregon fan, so when I'm saying this, please take my bias out of it. They are so damn good. I mean, if you can beat Ohio State and Penn State in your regular season, I don't see a team that's beating you, honestly.
Well, it'll be nice to see the wealth spread, and that's what I do like that about the format. To think that a national championship could come to the northwestern part of the United States is pretty fun to think about. So
it is. No, I love it. I honestly think. I mean, Oregon could win it. Ohio State maybe could if they could figure it out. But they also just had that suffering loss to Michigan, so. I don't know what they're thinking right now as a team. I don't know. Indiana made it in. They could surprise everybody and be like, hey, we're going to win this year.
Yeah, very much so.
I mean, they have a really good passing attack. I don't know what their defense is like, but their offensive passing is great. So it could be a really fun year. The one thing I will say that I love is Oregon's first game is in the Rose Bowl. And I love that they're bringing the Pac-12, well, they're not the Pac-12, but the Pac-12 team to that Rose Bowl. I think that's great.
That is sick.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
And I think that's awesome.
Those bowl games, are those at the end of this month or they start pretty soon?
So I don't remember when they start, but what they did is the first round before the byes, they're all home games in their home stadiums.
Oh, that's sick.
So, like Ohio State, I think might be hosting a game. Tennessee's hosting a game. No, Boise State got a bye, so they don't.
They don't get to. Oh, the first round games.
Yeah. So the first round games are all at home. Tennessee's another team that could be kind of scary.
Filthy. Yeah, they got a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Sure.
Tennessee could be scary if you let them.
I feel like Ohio State has a pretty difficult path too.
They do, because I think they have to play Oregon in the second round.
Yeah.
And that's just not fun.
Yeah.
And so you're playing a home game at your home stadium, which I think is really cool. You know, playoff experience or playoff game in those atmospheres. That's sick.
Yeah.
But then the second and like quarterfinal and semifinal and final are all at like the Rose Bowl, the Orange Bowl, all of those big New Year's Six bowls that they used to have. They're going to be back on New Year's for the most part. Like I know the Rose Bowl's on New Year's. And they're going to be the second and semifinal and final games.
Awesome.
I shouldn't say the final. The final's in Atlanta, but
'tis the season. And before we get into this other thing, let's talk about this. I thought about this. I was laying in bed, and I know last year I think we rated our Christmas. Let's get into the Christmas season. How was your Thanksgiving? First of all, we didn't get a chance to talk about this.
You know, my Thanksgiving was different. Everybody at our house was sick.
Oh.
But it was good. Dad and brother came home, and it was good, and had a good time. We were just all kind of sick.
Any tradition that you do on Thanksgiving?
You know what we do on Thanksgiving? We start putting up our Christmas decorations.
Got that. Okay.
Of course. I mean, I think that's just about everybody.
That's right.
And then on Thanksgiving night, we always watch our first Christmas movie.
Which is?
So it sometimes flip-flops, but it's always either Christmas Vacation
or
Elf.
That's amazing. That's exactly Christmas vacation for our family. I mean, my old family. It's so weird. I'm in my like third year of marriage here, and it's like I used to do a bunch of things with my household family, and now we
Yeah.
have our own traditions. This year actually for Thanksgiving but Christmas vacation was our go-to for the
Oh,
Legale.
it's got to be.
The OG Legale family
Oh, yeah.
was the Christmas vacation. So
Yeah.
and then probably 3 or 4 times after that. But this year we spent Thanksgiving in Arizona, which was very
Right.
different, which was actually cool. I felt I haven't been there in a while, and it seems like every time I'm there. Last time I was there, I was playing in my alumni game at CAC, and it seems like every time I've been there for baseball. So I never really got to enjoy Arizona, even when I was down there for 5 years. It was always just baseball, and so it was nice to actually get to enjoy Arizona and the warm weather, and it was wonderful grub. We had spent the week at my father-in-law's home in Cave Creek, which was amazing, and but definitely happy to be home. So
that's awesome. And you were actually warm in Arizona in November.
Not even actually warm. I was in a pool in Arizona. I went swimming twice in Arizona. It was pretty impressive. So I've never got to experience that. So
because I went down there over Christmas for one of the Under Armour camps for my brother, and that was the coldest I've ever been in my life.
It's cold. It is cold. When it gets cold there, it is unlike the cold here. I can recall coming home from college and having it be during Christmas, having it be Arizona cold, which is cut you to the bone cold. Landing in Billings, shoveling our driveway that night, and having it be warmer because of the humidity in Billings versus the cold in Arizona. It will cut you to the bone for sure.
I was so surprised because we were going there, it was going to be like 40, 50. So I was like, okay, I can, t-shirt, light, hoodie maybe, and shorts, because that's what I would wear here. And I got down there and I was like, I got to go to an outlet mall. Yeah. I got to get like winter clothes. Like, what is this?
Put on a cardigan.
Yeah, I got to have like 15 layers. Like, this is insane.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it'll get there. There's a sense of that a little bit at nighttime. Desert gets cold.
Yeah.
So
well, it doesn't help either. As you know, baseball games are usually at like 8 a.m. for whatever reason.
Yeah. Yes. I know. Wild to think, especially when we're battling the snowflakes.
Yeah.
Just to break a little bit from sports here, I want to talk about your least favorite. Let's get real negative here on the show.
Oh boy,
we're always so positive.
Yeah,
let's get negative a little bit. Because we let's. It's good. It's good for morale, I think. I want to know your top 3 most hated Christmas movies of all time.
Ooh, top 3 hated Christmas movies. That's tough, man.
Is it?
It's tough, man. Yeah, because I love Christmas. Like,
I do too. But there's just some of those movies that just don't resonate with you.
Yeah, that's true. So this, I'll tie it back into sports. Have you seen the new Hallmark movie with the Chiefs this year?
No. No way.
Yep.
What do you mean with the Chiefs? What do you mean? Like they're like the NFL gave Hallmark the rights to use their logo and stuff, or is this like a play on? No way.
Oh, it's legit the Chiefs.
See, what did I say? This would generate some serious morale for the show.
Yeah. Now, okay. All jokes aside, though, with that movie, it's actually a decent movie. I just hate that it's the Chiefs.
I can't imagine how it possibly ends on Hallmark. Let me guess. Actually, I don't want to guess. I want you to tell me, since you've watched the show. I don't want to watch it. What is? I mean, I can't imagine it ends poorly.
It doesn't end poorly.
What happens? Is Taylor Swift in it? Is Travis Kelce in it?
Travis Kelce is not, but his mom is.
Oh my god.
Which I find funny. I did find that funny, but No, so basically how it ends is one of the guys that works for the team that was part of the fan of the year contest that they were in falls in love with the main character.
Shocking.
So it's not a bad movie.
Does
It's
the main
just,
character have like a side piece too that's like kind of fighting for his attention as well? And there's a climax, where the
not
one
in
girl
this
gets
one.
her heart broken, and then they come together at the end, drink some hot cocoa, and
Not in
life's
this
good.
one. No.
Wow,
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy.
Kind of crazy, isn't it?
That is crazy, or especially when we're talking about the Hallmark Channel. Seems like all those movies, but wow. So what other aspects about the Chiefs? I mean, is it just simply their logo? Is it just simply the storyline?
I think they have the stadium a little bit.
A little Arrowhead.
A little bit of Arrowhead, just like shots of it. You know what I mean? They don't actually have the inside of Arrowhead at all, I don't think. And then they'll have like, the t-shirts and stuff like that. It's just all over, but it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Probably going to have to miss that one. All right. Well, I'm glad that tops your list.
That tops my list, honestly. Besides that,
most distasteful. Yeah, that's pretty distasteful.
Yeah, besides that, honestly, there's not a bad one in my eyes. Like, I love the Polar Express. That's one that kind of...
The only issue that I have with the Polar Express, I get sucked in every year, okay? It seems like that kid loses his damn ticket every year.
Right?
Swear.
I know.
Every year loses his damn ticket to the
It's like Charlie Brown never kicks the damn football.
Yeah, it's the same shit.
I mean, why don't they change it up a little bit for us?
How about this one? Because I think this one really tops my list. I never really resonated with this one, and possibly because I was a little boy and it's about a little girl, maybe. I don't know. But Miracle on 34th Street.
I don't know if I've ever watched that one.
Exactly. It's I remember watching it when I was little and just being like, ugh. The girl from Matilda. Girl's in it.
I would say that one just because I've never actually fully watched it.
Perfect. Glad we're in agreement on that.
I mean, there's some of those that, yes, they're classics, but they're so old that it's like, let's move on.
Let's move on. Okay, I would say this. I would say one of the most underrated movies, probably just quality of movie, but also Christmas movies. I always consider it a Christmas movie, and it's got a little hockey in it. I love Michael Keaton in Jack Frost, although it is a tearjerker.
Yeah, see, that's another one. I've watched it, obviously, but it's been a while. It's not one of my... I don't watch it every year. I'd have to rewatch that one.
I mean, Jim Carrey's The Grinch is a staple. Is it true that they're coming out with a second one? Have you heard these rumors?
I haven't.
I've heard this.
Oh my gosh, that would be sick.
That would be sick. I'd go see it. I remember seeing that when I was like 9 years old.
Yeah, no, that would be sick. I love that Grinch. I mean, obviously, like we were talking, National Lampoons and Elf are...
Yeah, they're top.
They're top tier. Just Friends is another good Christmas movie.
Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds?
With Ryan Reynolds, it's a great Christmas movie.
I love when he drinks the water and he's just like, I'm stuffed.
Yeah. And it's a good Christmas movie because it's not a Christmas movie, but it is. It's like in Christmas, so it kind of is.
I like that.
I mean, and then you have the people that are out there like Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I don't know if I buy that, but
yeah,
that's okay. And then you go with the classics like Rudolph, Frosty.
Yeah, like, it's a forgotten art with the way technology is now. Those movies, I forgot about those movies.
They're great.
For me, I spend a lot of this holiday season for some reason. We always watch The Lord of the Rings. I love watching that around Christmas. I have no idea why. I don't know. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why we got into it this year, and I recommend this. If you're a Lord of the Rings person at all,
I'm not.
Okay, well, that's fine. You might be if you take this advice. So, brand new show, and it's been out for a couple of years, I believe, but they just decided to renew the third season. But The Rings of Power on Amazon.
I've seen the ads for it.
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I was hooked. Very disappointed that the last episode happened because we were so into it. So it was great. And
so for someone that's not a fan, will it hook me?
I believe so. I really do. It's how the rings are made, the origin of them, why. some key characters to the movies, their journey. I was totally impressed, and oddly enough, and I think this has been out for a while, but oddly enough, the series came out, or we decided to watch it finally. It's been out for a while, but it came out, and then the day after we finished the season, all over the news, they decided to up the series to do a season 3 in
Oh, wow.
2026. So they needed our viewership, of course, because we're
Of course,
heavy
it was
critics,
your viewership
popular.
alone.
I believe that. I really
Yeah.
believe that. Yeah.
You know, a series that I sometimes get into during the holiday season.
Yeah.
It's kind of on that same realm. I love the Harry Potter movies.
They're so good during the holidays. I agree.
Like, I love the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah. Ditto. Solely our youngest is a Harry Potter fiend.
Ooh, nice. Especially because a couple years ago we went to California and went to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. So cool if you've never been.
I have never been, but now you said that's in Florida?
They have one in Florida and California. I went to one in
California. Wizarding World. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. It's so sick.
Yeah, that's legit.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to touch on that because I think the 'tis the season, right? Like,
for sure.
we're getting into it. If you could see my little village setup, it's set up right in front of my computer for the Josephine Crossing followers to enjoy.
Very nice.
But
I have one piece of Christmas Village in my room.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Oh.
It is Cousin Eddie's RV from National.
I saw that on Facebook. There was that was going to be my village piece. I buy Shelby a village piece every single year for Christmas.
Yeah,
so we're collecting as we go. Yeah. So this year I bought her a really cool fountain that actually has water running through it, etc.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, my parents bought me the Cousin Eddie's RV a few years ago. I love it.
Yeah, there's an RV, Clark. It's mine. It's my house.
Yep.
Traded my house. I got the RV. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
I wanted to briefly mention here something. We're going to get into the NHL just to touch. There's always so much going on there. Going to briefly touch on that, but more so, I would like to take the opportunity to appreciate and to make people know, if they don't already, but Big Billings is getting 2 sheets of ice, my friend. We are getting a brand new rink. Signal Peak Arena. Signal Peak donated the majority of the money to make this happen, and in the process, we're still raising money for the rink. Needs some more to keep it going. I wanted to give this a quick plug, but it's Yellowstone Ice Foundation, I believe, YellowstoneIceFoundation.org. You can personalize your donation to make this rink possible. Let's grow the freaking game of hockey. What a beautiful game. I believe that Billings is a wonderful town for this. It's got history of hockey in the Billings Bighorns, the Billings Bulls. This arena, Mitch, I don't know if you've seen any sort of
I haven't
prints on this, blueprints, but it is outstanding. 2 sheets of ice. The main ice arena will have approximately 3,500 seats. That's still in the works. Fantastic. It's going to be great for the community. Looking forward to it. Obviously, as a hockey connoisseur, I am just excited for the growth of the game in our town. And it can be done. It definitely can be done at Missoula. Shout out to their hockey program. Missoula, Montana, the fastest growing youth hockey program in the United States for the last 3 years.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yes. So can be done. I think there's a huge pool of, kids like myself where, we're in high school. That wasn't really an option. We didn't really have that option, had the resources been there. I mean, granted, we have we had the programs in place, but it was kind of a, private deal, like kind of Legion kind of deal back then. Now, if we can make it a household deal, this could be really great for the community, I think.
Yeah. And what I love in the article, I'm sure it's probably the same one that you've read too, but they were talking about having a semi-pro hockey league here too, like the Great Falls team, the Butte team, Missoula, Helena. And I just think for Billings, anytime you can get a team in here that can show support for the community and you can support them, I think it's great. I mean, I look at the Mustangs, I look at the Outlaws and what they've done for the community, and I think it's great if we can bring a hockey team here.
Oh yeah.
I think it's just another aspect of greatness, and I love that it's going to be like a 2,000 to 3,500 seat arena. I think that's the perfect size. I think it's great.
Yeah, I think they're going to fill it. I think especially if we get a team and some working on some fundraising stuff for them personally. I've been tasked with a couple things. The biggest thing, if you know anybody, we're looking for a some sort of libation bar-ish food at the top of the South End net. So it'd be an overhanging down on the main arena, looking for some people of interest there. But, got some stuff in the works there, and still working closely with Mike Haas. I'm sure you're familiar with that name. Haas is a successful, ran a successful agency here in town he's been in the insurance arena for, close to 20, 25 years, I'm sure. So he's kind of head of the deal. So happy to be a part of this with him. So
that's awesome. No, it'll be great for the Billings community.
Absolutely. Quick little tidbit on the NHL. Points leader right now, Nathan McKinnon, no surprise, leads the NHL with 46 points. Leon Draisaitl on the Oilers is leading in goals with 20. Wow. And then just behind him, I think you have Sam Reinhart for the Panthers at 17 goals. A lot of competition this year. The Minnesota Wild have been exceptional. I'm rooting for them big time. Would love to see Minnesota hoist a cup. I think that would be amazing.
That would be sick
for the game of hockey. My Knights are looking fantastic. They're a defensively sound team. Their style of play is very staple defense first. Let's generate some chances. If you're looking for simply a game to just watch, to maybe get into, watch the Edmonton Oilers. Holy cow. They are electric with McDavid. Big win last night they had against the Tampa Bay Lightning, who are also surging. Just unreal competition every single night in the NHL. Unreal.
That's awesome. And if you're local here in Billings, I think I saw that locally they're carrying the Knights and the Kraken on TV most of the year.
They do now. So they will. So you have to have the cable, like you have to have the standard cable, I believe, to get MTN Sports or something like that. Which it truly, Mitch, it's been kind of frustrating. I don't have the standard cable. I don't have an antenna. I just have the ESPN Plus for like $7.99 a month, which is sick. But they black out the Utah Hockey Club, the Colorado Avalanche. Obviously, you need the altitude for the Colorado Avalanche, but and then the Knights they block out too. They black out for that as well. So,
do they black out the Kraken then too?
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah,
I figured they would. So, I just didn't know.
On Root Sports. Yeah. So it is what it is. Very happy though to see that it has came the way that it has since the past has been so convoluted, because it was really hard to watch the Knights when they first came out. So
they're making it a lot easier. I believe it's the Knights and the Kraken that they're going to show more games on our local channel. So
good. Yeah. Fast growing game. It's been great. We're in a golden era. We got some young talent that's out of this world, and very skill based in Macklin Celebrini of the San Jose Sharks. He's been turning on the Jets. He looks amazing. Candidate for the Rookie of the Year for sure.
So are they finally going to turn it around? Because I know they've been in the gutter for a while.
They've been playing great. I mean, they're 500 right now. I mean, I think they're just shy of 500, if not a little bit above. I mean, they're competing at a high level. And that's the thing is NHL is, there's just so many talented players that they're, I think the worst losing average right now. There's still a 33%, 40% win ratio. So lot of talent every night. Anybody can beat anybody. Like I said, stacked with talent.
For sure. Well, hey, that's going to be our show for today. We promise we will not take another month off. We
No
will
months.
come back sooner.
sooner. Let's we'll dial in a show for the recap of the the playoffs here, the little college football playoff. We're
Yep.
going to talk Cat football here, and
Yep.
it's heating up, and everybody have a happy holidays, a safe holiday.
Yes,
and,
have a safe holidays.
Stay warm because it's getting nipply, baby.
A little bit. All right, have a great day, and thanks for listening.
Let's go.
Cool.